Here at TPI, we have great respect for our veterans. You have a rich military family history and a personal military background. Can you take a few minutes and tell our audience about you and your family's background?
Sure. My own background, I'm a 22-year Army veteran. I just retired as of August 2022. I spent the last two and a half or 2 decades and some change serving our nation a little bit prior to 9/11. And then after 9/11, I became an active duty officer or active duty soldier,
Mhm.
enlisted, turned officer for roughly the next 20 years. And so we never thought of service as anything special in my family because the elders just served.
Mhm.
And so I'm originally from South Texas near the Rio Grande Valley, if you're familiar with that area, Southeast Texas. And when we grew up, there was always an aura of military pride.
Mhm.
And so my great grandfather, Andres Garcia, it was a private in World War One. So he fought in the U.S. Army and during World War One. His son, my grandfather, Ramon Garcia, he fought in World War Two. My other grandfather on my mother's side was in the Army Air Corps during World War II. My stepfather, Raul Martinez, he was in the 173rd Airborne. One of the reasons I went to airborne school is because he told me if you're going to go active duty, you're going to do it right, and you're going to jump out of airplanes. That way, they respect you. And so, and so when I was 17, I was still in high school, and there was limited opportunities in a small town, rural America. And so one of the ways that we knew to get out and see the world was through service. And so I joined the Army Reserves when I was in high school. I would go to school during the week, and on the weekends I was doing reserve drill. A week after I graduated high school at 17, I went to basic training, and then came back, did a couple reserve years, and then 9/11 kicked off. Like I said, kind of changed the world, changed my attitude. Went back to the recruiter. I said, my stepfather says I have to go to airborne school, and then I want to go fight these people that attacked our country, and the rest is pretty much history. And so the last 22 years have been a whirlwind. It's been a blessing to me. I've had a great career. I had a great career. And then stepping from the military into civilian life has been super exciting. I feel almost like a wild animal that's been caged in and regimented for so long that soon as I got out, I mean, there's a world of possibilities that I think are out there if you have the drive and the motivation and tenacity to just go after things that you're excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great story, man. Incredible story. It's such an amazing history in your family. What inspired you to create Milvet's app?
So the Milvets app is a mobile app that we just released back in September, at the end of September, early October. And so what the Milvets app does, it's a mobile app on your Apple iPhone. We don't have an Android version out yet, but it's in development. And so what it does for the user, which is the target audience, is a veteran who's in the process of transitioning, or someone who's already transitioned and it wants to stay in touch with the veteran community. It does a few things. On our menus, one of the things that it does is it provides military and veteran news and updates. So it keeps the veteran just aware of what's going on. For instance, the PAC Act that just passed a few months ago and was signed into law, or any of the relevant news and events that are taking place, whether it's be Ukraine, whether it be veterans benefits, education, the cost of living increases that just happened for veterans. We try to keep that updated so veterans are updated on what's going on in the veteran ecosystem.
Mhm.
There's also a services menu. So what we're trying to do is take a few of the relevant veteran services that are out there and different organizations that do stuff for veterans, and they do it well. The biggest problem is that veterans are overloaded with so much information that they don't know where to go, and it can be frustrating sitting behind the computer all day trying to figure it out. And
Mhm.
so what MilVets app does is I have a list of national veteran organizations that provide services for veterans, whether it be hiring, whether it be entrepreneur training, whether it be small business fundraising, small business development with the SBA veteran website, and how to navigate sam.gov, which is now going to change over to the SBA. I think it did on the first. And so what we're doing in that menu is getting a slew of services that are out there for veterans, but with instant one-click access, two-click access from your phone while you're moving around. So as you're spending time waiting for a table or getting your haircut or whatever it is that you're doing, you can passively start looking through some of these services that are out there that are available to veterans, and it gives them easy access rather than being stuck behind a computer screen with a spreadsheet of 400 or 500 different organizations that do a whole bunch of stuff. And so from a user's perspective, that's what it provides. We also have a health app. And so what that health app does, or that health menu does, excuse me, is it has one-touch access to the Veteran Crisis Hotline, because what I tell somebody is if you've had too much to drink and you're a veteran and you're having thoughts about hurting yourself or somebody else, you might not know that the veteran hotline exists. You might not know the number. It's 988 if you don't know it. But what on the app, what that menu does is it provides just one-click access to the veteran hotline, veteran crisis hotline. So if you're in those moments, and sadly enough, vets are coming into those moments a lot these days, you get really quick access to the veteran crisis hotline. It gets you the help that you need. It also provides one-click access to the nearest clinics in case you get sick, in case somebody gets hurt. I joke around to my veteran buddies and say, like, just in case we take fire, and I need to get you to a hospital, I pull up the app. You hit one button and you'll find out the nearest hospitals that you can take people and rush people to. So from a veteran's user's perspective, that's what it provides. There's also a neat map and veteran business owner category there on the app, where the essential idea is that veteran small business owners, whether you cut hair or you design web pages, or you're a landscaper, or you sell Pamper Jeff, or whatever it is that none of those are recommendations, by the way. But whatever it is that you sell, or the product or service that you produce, if you're a veteran-owned business or military spouse-owned business, is that you can subscribe to that portion, to that side of the app, to our business category side of the app, and market your business to a veteran population that's looking to interface with veteran businesses. I'm a veteran. I would much rather give my money, my time, and my energy towards a veteran business, whether it be landscaping or roofing or painting or whatever it is, than someone that I have no connection with. And so we might not know each other, but if I know you're in the Army, if I know you're in the Marine Corps, if I know you deployed at some point, then I'm just more apt to build a connection with you and do business with you. I would much rather patronize that business than some other business I have no connection with. And an intangible in that aspect is that it instinctively builds some kind of camaraderie between the veteran, the owner, and then whoever it is that's patronizing that business, and they're both veterans. Maybe they're looking for more connection, and hopefully they can get it by going through the app.
Yeah, it sounds like it builds the community, or brings the community of veterans together. I think it's brilliant. It's a hub. It's a one-stop shop. I think that's fantastic. What is different about your app than the congressionally mandated transition programs?
Well, for one, we have no skin in the game. We have no pre-biases. We have no prejudices. There's no conflict with any of the organizations. The plethora of veteran organizations and ecosystems that are out there are important, and they all do relatively good work. And there's no knock on any one of them. But if you're a hiring agency, you're not concerned with veteran health. And if you're in veterans health, you're not concerned with veteran finances. And if you're in veteran finances, you're not concerned with veteran small business loans or financing. Those are all separate things. And so and I think I fell into each one of those categories that I just mentioned. So there's 4 categories, for instance. Those are 4 places I have to go. Those are four categories of items or issues that I have to go search 4, 5, 6 different organizations within each one of those, and I can quickly become overwhelmed. And
Mhm.
so the transition process, uh, there, I believe that the intention as well to give a lot of information to the veterans, so that they have decisions, they have information that they can make decisions off of. However, there's a cost of diminishing returns. The more information you get, the aperture gets smaller and smaller, and what you can actually process, and then it becomes overwhelming. You flip the laptop down and you storm off, and
Right.
that's a not a good place to be. And so
Yeah, it's
what
like you can't see the forest from the trees, I suppose.
yeah, and so what the MilVets app does is, like, I'm agnostic to any of the organizations,
Mhm.
because it's not about me, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take organizations and people to say it's not about me. It's actually about the user, and so all I care about is getting the user to the end game that they're looking for.
Mhm.
If you're transitioning out and you're looking for a job, for instance, there's 5 to 10 different hiring agencies out there. We have one on the app. It's right at the top. It's called Recruit Military.
Mhm.
Now, that's because Recruit Military and I had a conversation. Uh, I liked their business model. They have 400,000 open jobs across the nation.
Wow.
So, um, and not to knock any of the other, recruiting agencies, Hire Military, Hiring Our Heroes, and a few other ones, but they just don't work together
Mhm.
because they're after the same pool, and that's their business model. That's what they do. Again, no knock on them, but I want to be ambivalent to who it is.
Right.
I don't care about the organization necessarily. I care about the veteran user getting access to the information that they need, so that they can transition appropriately and they can get back to their or get started in a new civilian life.